This is exactly where we're meant to be. Raise them up, let your voice be heard. Stand your ground, every single word. Truth runs deep and love runs strong. If you've been searching, you belong. Through every blessing, every fire, we'll keep chasing. What is right? This ain't just a podcast anymore. It's a family worth fighting for. Welcome to the show. Hey, let's chase the truth.
Hello, governors. Welcome to the Roxy and Shannon show. Good evening, governor.
Hello, good evening.
You better step up a little bit in that tone of voice, ma'am. You probably got a mouthful of something delectable to eat over there.
No, not yet.
Not yet. You're holding off. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Sue. I don't know that I've ever seen you in the room before, but welcome. You may have been here before. Hey, Miss Kay. We got Joey. We got Big E. Hey, Big E. Mike. Diane is in here. I don't think I've seen Diana yet. Good evening, everybody. Hope I didn't miss any. Some of you have been in here for a minute. Good evening. Thank you. How is everybody today? How are you today, Governor?
Oh, just, got lots of stuff going on.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing. I don't know if anybody else today has been extremely sleepy and extremely emotional. My crew at work today, all of us are sitting here at our desk and we're standing up, moving around and stretching. And one of the guys said, "Are they pumping something in the air conditioning system?" Because, like, we couldn't stay awake. Like, me and one of the other girls just broke out crying at random times today for no reason. I'm not a crier. Just boo-hooing.
Yeah. This morning started out pretty abruptly for me, and it hasn't really slowed down. So,
Yeah. Life be at high speed lately.
Yep.
Yep. All right, everybody. We're probably going to chase a few squirrels tonight. We got a couple of topics of conversation. We're going to talk a little bit about the California mountains and the gold rush, which is what the rabbit hole the Shannon is down. And I'm in Revelations. And one kind of all plays into the other, I suppose, because it's all connected.
It's always connected.
If we have any newborns in the audience, I want to remind you, you need to go read Enoch. If you have not, you should. It will put a lot of things in a different perspective for you. Go find out why it was removed from the Bible. If you are new here, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button. Shannon has a giveaway we're going to be announcing Tuesday night.
That's right.
Because we're now broadcasting on a whole nother network with a whole nother group of peeps, homies.
That's right. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to start calling these appreciation gifts because, giveaway sounds kind of cheesy, and we're not like cheesy and stuff. We're not like,
Listen,
God, we're giving away this whatever. It's like, we're giving you something cool like knowledge. It's a gift of knowledge. A
Shannon's
gift of
got some cool
something
stuff, and
cool.
she wants somebody cool to have it.
Totally.
It's gonna be we're gonna do it for subscribers, whether it be on my channel or Shannon's channel. We'll announce Tuesday exactly how we're gonna do the drawing because we don't want to leave out our faithfuls. We don't want it to be just new subscribers, but we'll come up with a plan and we'll talk about it Tuesday. And we're gonna try to get some stuff from some sponsors and do some sponsored giveaways. So we'll see where that goes. We're working on it. We're working on it, guys. We're growing.
And hey, I just kind of want to say this out loud. I know how a lot of people feel when content creators of all kinds, especially ones in the niche group that we are in, because we're all about Jesus and things along those lines. I know it's hard for people, when we talk about maybe, getting sponsors and things along those lines. But, we do pay out of pocket for the things that we do here. And we just want to keep going. We don't want to have to be like, donations all the time. Come on, bring them on. We don't want to be those guys like ever. So, in order to be like that, sometimes we got to find some cool people who have some cool stuff. We're like, we can give away stuff and actually pay for this restream and all of that. So just letting you know, it's nothing like we're trying to make money. So I just
Not
wanted
after
to throw that up there.
oh, too loud. Hey, Diana, I was waiting on you, baby. I figured you were coming. Um,
Like
no, we're
sponsors
not after
is the
money,
name to
guys.
scare people.
No, we're not after money in any
No,
way, shape, or form.
no,
This comes
not
out of our pocket. We don't have enough subscribers to make any money. That's not what we're here for.
at all. Hey, speaking of subscribers, any of you guys who happen to be children of the Most High, just make sure that you are still subscribed. I've had a few people come to me and say, hey, I got kicked off and I don't know why. So check it out. Make sure you're still subscribed. If not, re-click it because you know how it goes in this this field of work.
This ain't work. This is more like pleasure. But yeah, they
Yeah.
they be messing with us. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna see. I learned a new trick with Restream today. You will see things pop up in the chat about reminders to subscribe, and it's very cool. It goes automatic. I don't have to do it anymore. Anyway, I'm proud of myself. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. All right, you want to start in the mountains, ma'am?
Ooh, I get to start in the
You get to start.
mountains. Okay. I know, like the last couple, like map thing we were talking about, I was kind of blown away how we've been looking at these old maps. I mean, a lot of the stuff about the old maps is blowing me away, not just California, but because I happen to live out here and I've lived out here all my life, certain things really kind of like shocked me, kind of like the fact that there were no mountains for like a long time, and then all of a sudden a couple hundred years ago they just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And that kind of made me start thinking about, well, okay, why did the California mountains have all this gold? What's with the gold rush? How did these mountains come to be? Is there some folklore about it? So I looked up some folklore, and there's lots and lots of folklore about how they were not there, but they were put there after the floods. There is actually a mountain that actually moved locations,
Well,
like
see,
a walking mountain.
you were talking about this the other day because we've had the conversation before about the Himalayan mountains. We think
Yeah,
that's a giant in the Himalayan mountains. But
right. Well, some of them could very well be that kind of thing, but then there's so much more. So much more. And then, so it hit me hard today. I was like, why did the president of the United States of America at the time announce to the entire world about the gold rush and to come on down into the mountains of California and get rich? Does that seem like a good idea to you? I don't know, right? So I was like, well, why? Well, if you had people from all over the place searching for gold and mining these mountains for you, they're bound to stumble upon interesting artifacts on why and how these mountains just kind of appeared and what's it all about. And lo and behold, I found like at least 35 different cases of different artifact moments found during the gold rush era that had been commandeered by the government, hushed down real quietly, just like, oh, not going to talk about it. One in particular, which I found to be extremely fascinating, there was like a room, like a big giant cavernous room inside one of these mountains. I can't remember. It starts with an M. Oh, what mountain is this? I'll look it up again and try and think about it. But anyways, this mountain, they had found this room in this cavern inside of this mountain that had this massive, giant 7 foot octagonal shape metal object that's just like massive, just like chilling in the center of this room. And they're like, what is this? And it looks like it's super ancient. Like they know it's super ancient, but they, have no idea how it's not corroding because it's metal, how it, all of that. Well, these guys decide to put their hand on it and they feel this frequency vibration. It's warm to the touch and it's like moving in a low tone vibration. And one of the guys describes how he could feel it in his chest as opposed to his ears. So it's more of a, what do you call it? Like a sonographic type of a sound because it's not, I can't think of
Girl.
the exact name, but it's too low to be heard, so it's felt in the chest. And so this thing, which they speculate could have some kind of, way to power up things or change the atmosphere or weather. They weren't quite sure. But the second they found it and, started talking about it, it got commandeered all kinds of quick like. So I just
Imagine
thought
that.
that was a very interesting story. And of course, we have Loch Levin, or right, or no, the what Loch Levin? What is it called? Something Love something caves. I cannot think of this
The
name.
Lovelock Caves?
Yes, the Lovelock the Lovelock caves, where the big giant redheaded, creatures were found that the Native Americans had lore that they burnt inside the caves to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's this other story where they're in Mount Shasta, I believe, where they believe this mountain came from Lumeria. And I know everyone knows about Atlantis, but there was also this lost continent called Lumeria, or also Mu, just MU. And that was supposed to be in the Pacific Ocean, which by the way was not actually called the Pacific back then. It was like the West Ocean, or I don't even know. It's gone through a few different names, but there is a lost continent, and California is believed to be a part of that lost continent. So these people believed that it was Lumerian and there was a big giant treasure that was found in the late 1800s by this British dude, this British archaeologist, and they supposedly never found it again, but I highly doubt that. And then
Well,
talks
see,
about all kinds of interesting, like mummified beings in there that they believed were from Lumeria and all of this stuff. So it's like the insanity of the California mountains just kind of blew my mind. And what better way to get people to search out these mountains for you than to be like, come on, everybody, and get rich and get gold. So everyone around the world just comes and does all the hard work for you. And then the Mormons, no offense to anyone out there, but they decided to reap all the benefits from all the tool sales and the, lodging and all that stuff. Just throwing that out there.
well,
Mhm.
when we talk about the fact that these could be some type of Nephilim creatures, because we think about the Himalayan mountains, there's Himalayan salt and how it looks like meat and muscle It looks like bacon.
Yep.
And if you think
Again.
about a different type of particular Nephilim, if it had been a giant and it laid down and became a vein of gold. You know what I mean? It just because when
Yeah.
I all right, we're seeing all these statues. I don't know if y'all been seeing this stuff, but like there's statues over that, those beautiful marble granite statues, that look almost have been sculpted so well it looks like a piece of fabric over bare skin on a woman. And some of these
Hmm.
things have had fingers snapped off and there's bones inside. There are
Yep.
literal bones inside of these statues. So if this is indeed real
Well,
fabric draped over bare skin and has somehow been immortalized that way.
there are old articles, and I'm talking article after article after article about talking about turning your loved one into a statue.
Yeah. Like how
So,
to do it, how to turn
you
them
know
into
what I'm
granite.
saying?
Well, and see,
It's in the
this is where my
writing.
brain goes when we're talking about these mountains. When you go up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, when you go up, everybody's seen Andy Griffith. Like I took a whole vacation up there to Mayberry. It was beautiful. Most One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life was that mountain up there. But when you go on the Mayberry tour, with the deputy, why is my brain going haywire? What was Andy Griffith's there? Barney. When Barney Fife takes you in the patrol car and you go to tour the town, one of the places they take you to is to a granite mine up there. It is the biggest granite mine in this country, possibly the world. I think it's the world. It can
Mm.
be seen from air quotes outer space satellites. You can see it on the map. We've looked at it on Google Earth before. So if that's a vein of granite, the Blue Ridge Mountains are just big grains of granite. Granite comes from everywhere. California is gold. Himalayan is salt. All right, we know there were Nephilims that come and mated with women, and each Nephilim would have been a different mythological monster, which would mean genetically it would be different if it was a different kind of monster. So you got one of granite, one of gold. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's where
Well,
my brain goes.
this is something that's would be really good to continue to search on these maps all over the place on how much terrain has changed, but in when. Because what I found to be interesting is on the in the time periods that you don't see these mountains, but then there, of course, is water flow in between California. Things change, but it would make sense. I mean, if you had big giant titans that were in under that water from the floods, that was still technically receding over time.
Hmm.
But there are other lore stories too about, the animals creating some of the mountains over time after the flood. there's there are all kinds of interesting stories, and we know that in those maps too that a huge part of the Northwest is just unknown and full of giants. So, I mean, the topography, you just don't even know, because if they don't know, who knows what that could be out there. And I've not been to a ton of those places, but I will tell you that Oregon and Washington is full of mountains and trees as well.
Well, I mean, we know how good they've gotten at putting the truth in front of us and making fun of it and making it science fiction, and it was right there in front of our eyes the whole time. We know we don't know. We think we know 2% of what they've hidden from us.
Yeah.
So imagine what they've hidden on maps. How many maps have been burned? Imagine what is sitting in the bottom of the Smithsonian, folks. I'm
Or the
telling you.
Vatican libraries.
Oh, I can't wait.
I want to
I'm so ready
go.
to flip these tables.
Yeah.
Y'all, I dream at night of going and kicking the doors open on that place and seeing what they've hidden. It is like, like when this happens, that's where I want to be. Y'all will find me in the bottom of the Smithsonian, nerded it completely out with a team of people. No, I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Anyway, back to where we were. See, I've got all excited now thinking about everything that I'm gonna get to see.
Right.
They
So,
lied. We know they lie.
of course, it's just it's a really fascinating thing, and at some point, I'm going to find a way to actually get a hold of some of these tangible maps with my own hands and eyeballs. So that's what I had to say about the California mountains for now, because I'm still researching. And hey, anybody has any info you'd like to put in the chat or on our community post, please toss on some info.
Links, info, whatever. And also we have Discord. We can have full on conversations and share information over there. So if you're new to the show, we've got a Discord. I don't have it up right now. I'm horrible at that link for Discord. I need to load it as one of the preloads. But we can. What's up? Clayton's in the room. Word up, homie. Word up. If you're new, we're just a bunch of nerds over here. Yeah.
And sorry I fell asleep. I haven't read text messages yet. Roxy had to
Any
wake me up before the show.
info about what? Info on any of the subjects that we have. If you want to get on Discord and you've got your own subject, there's a general tab over there. Throw it in. Go have a conversation. Y'all get to know each other. This is about making a community of like-minded people that are here to have an intellectual conversation and not talk trash to each other or about other people.
Exactly.
That's what it's about. Hey, sweetheart. Um, we that's what it's about. We just want to have intellectual, kind, calm conversations and be supportive to each other because we all know for so long we've been called tinfoil hat wearing whatevers. We're okay with that.
I'm okay.
Discord in this room is for that. We love Jesus, and we hope you love Jesus. And if you need us to pray for you, we'll pray for you because sometimes we're going to ask you to pray for us. But that's just the way it's going to work. So, welcome. If you're new to the crew, we're glad to have you. Puff Puff Pass is the standard in the room. You don't have to, but if you do, by all means, go ahead. Because
Yay.
I have some new gummies. I call them the attitude adjusters.
Hey, speaking of prayers for those that we know and love, um, I spoke to David Beverly Sr. just a little bit earlier today, Jesus Freak Computer Geek, which actually he's the guy who wrote the book that I'll be, giving away as a gift. We will be giving away on Tuesday. But he happened to have had a big giant tree fall upon his home over the week. So he is just trying to figure all that out. So if you could send some prayers his way and to his family, they're so awesome. His son just took over an old church and is like revamping it and making it cool. And I mean, they're a really awesome in it to win it for Jesus Christ family. And so, if you could send some prayers to Jesus their way, that'd be so cool. Thank you.
You said it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just letting you go. I was letting you get it, girl. Get it. Clayton says he still has 53 pounds of beets to go. You poor fella.
Oh,
Clayton has been
jeez.
putting up vegetables for like a week now. Clayton, I would
How's
be
the
lost my
sauerkraut?
noodle.
How's the
Oh, you put
sauerkraut?
up
I love
sauerkraut too?
sauerkraut. Yes, that's what he was going to do with the cabbage.
Girl, listen, y'all. Like, I have a spreadsheet that has my life broken down hour by hour, other than the hours and I sleep. And I'm about to start scheduling, my midnight bathroom run because with this new job, it's just like, whew.
Scheduling your midnight.
I feel like I'm running into a hurricane some days. Not anything stressful. It's just I've been at home for so long working and it's like, Whew, but I do enjoy my job. I like my coworkers. I do. Other than I think they're pumping something to make us sleep into the air conditioning vents. It's like 100 degrees outside, and you come in my office and you got to put a jacket on. But if the air conditioner cuts off, then it gets too hot. If y'all don't know, I work in mall world, like my mall world,
Like
which
for
is
real though.
really freaky to me.
Like for
That
like
every day
serious.
when I go to work, I walk into my mall world, it's just empty because our office is the only one in a whole mall that actually exists because they own the mall other than a few outside little stores. It's a big double-sided strip mall with a centerway. But yeah, it's just deserted. There's no stores. There's nothing in it. It's just me, an empty mall world, and my coworkers. There's only like 6 of us. It's crazy.
I'm
Anyway,
telling you, you got to do some filming in there.
it's got to cool down, girl. I cannot be flacking through there in no click clacking heels
It's
in
all
the
right.
heat.
Fall is approaching. We
Fall
shall.
is on the way.
Yes,
And I don't
fall
know
is.
if anybody's heard, but I heard a rumor on the Tiki Talkie that, there were some kids that were planning to put on masks. And I would never suggest that they do that on Halloween by any means because, none of those bird flocking cameras would be working if it couldn't see your face. But if you decided to go out, and I've heard that some kids were going to maybe take down some of those birds, make sure you leave your cell phone at home because I suggest that you shouldn't do that, but please leave your cell phone at home. Just saying. Be smart. Anyway, next subject, Revelation, the book of Revelation. This is where my brain has been lately because as we know we do on here, we try to go take a word, a phrase, a sentence, and look at it because we understand that the words this book was written with thousands of years ago, what those people of that time, what they had seen and understood, they did not have words for what we have now. And in the end time, it tells you about a statue that comes to life and it has knowledge. That's an AI robot. They didn't know the word robot back then. A statue that comes to life, something that is motionless that comes to life artificially. Robot. Okay. I'm trying to take everything from that standpoint to rethink about something. The word revelation, how I was raised when I grew up, was that the book of Revelations was about this horrific apocalypse. And if you didn't listen to your preacher and you didn't go up to that pulpit and get on your knees and ask for forgiveness, that you was going to hell. And if you didn't, it would be hell on earth for you. And you basically, it was horrible. The word
Okay.
revelation to me always meant apocalypse. The book of Revelation.
See, and if you grew up Catholic, you didn't even know what Revelations was. All you
All
ever
right.
heard of were the three
What is
days of
what is the
darkness.
what is the definition of revelation? Not as related to the Bible. The word revelation,
It's like uh,
revealing,
yeah, exactly.
revelation, to reveal, to awaken, to see. The book of Revelation is the awakening. Revelation. I've had a revelation. I remember where I put my keys. You remembered something. You learned something. You figured something out. To reveal. As a child growing up, the book of Revelation was taught to me as being a horrific apocalyptic word. When you read that book, it was revelation, the awakening. When
Well,
you
see,
follow the etymological roots, yes, you get to revelation, the revealing. Hey, Super Sidewinder.
well, the
Yeah, to,
apocalypse is a part of Revelations, but it is
right,
not. But it isn't what Revelation is.
right. The word revelation is to learn something, to reveal it, to find it, to expose it, to see it. And it's what we're supposed to see as the things that have come to bring this world down. Um, there's a lot in that book, and I've started going back and looking at certain parts and exactly the way it's written. Like it tells you that Jesus will come in on a cloud. You're robotoing again, Shannon. Can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
Jesus. Oh, we're getting feedback. Are you chewing or something? We were getting feedback. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Yeah. I'll just
Maybe. Well, that Jesus comes in on a cloud and that he'll come in on a white horse with eyes of fire, and a two-sided sword from his mouth, with a blood-stained robe and markings on his thigh. Now, whether that means directly to his skin, as in a tattoo, or if it means a shielded, because sometimes on statues back then, they would put like a plaque on a statue to, basically mark it when it was made, who made it, whatever, or what it was in tribute to whatever horrible deity it was contributed to. And on his robe, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. I want to get everybody to go back and think about what's being said in those verses in the Bible. It tells you about the star falling named wormwood. Well, what do we know that wormwood does to water? What does wormwood do for us in general? You take wormwood and you put it in water, and then you can drink it, and it will get rid of the parasites. Aren't we having a parasite problem?
there's a
Most
lot
of the. Hmm?
there's a lot of scripture that speaks about Jesus ingesting the bitter things and talking
Well,
about taking in the bitterness along with the sweet. And there's a lot of scripture that talks about that, and meaning that it there is a cleansing aspect to it, but it also does make the waters undrinkable. It makes them bitter. It makes it uninhabitable for the life in this
you
particular.
back on Roboto again.
Of course. Mhm.
Oh, well, it tells you that the wormwood will fall into the water. A third of the water, it'll kill a third of the sea creatures. There will be blood in the water. Um, and then another star falls, and it's burning as if it were a lamp. That star was called wormwood. Go back and read these, and try not to take, which I'm a visual thinker. Anytime I read something, I see a movie playing in my head. I didn't understand until a while back that not everybody sees a movie when they read a book. I don't just read words. When okay, if I sit if I sit down with a book, there is a movie going on in my head. There are actors in it. They may be kind of faceless, but like, you know what I mean? There's actors, there's a narrator, sometimes there's subtitles. It just depends. I mean, it's like a projection of a full-length movie in my brain. That's part of where my memory ability comes from. It's because I see everything like a DVD. I can back it up or fast forward or whatever, chapter to chapter. And I think about the visual concept that was given to me as a child and as I was growing up of these things in church, or maybe even how I visualized what was being told to me, the movie that I created in my mind back then. And I'm trying to go back and see that movie from a different perspective. And it no longer looks to me like it used to. It seems foreign compared to what I was taught. And I'm just asking everybody to go back and reread it if you haven't read it in a while. And don't just read through it and read the words left to right. Read a verse and stop and think about what it says. Think about the words being used in it. And if there's something you're not sure how it's phrased as far as tense, go look it up as to how it was used in other books in the Bible. Because that's one thing I've learned. When they use a word to mean something here, they generally try to be consistent of how that word is used throughout the Bible by different people at different times. All had this thought to make this a consistent book of history. Um, and we go back into the Mark, and it starts talking about the creatures that Shannon and I, for some reason, got stuck on the other day, the Leviathan and the Behemoth, because it tells you they'll come back together at the end. Um,
I'm
there's a
still,
lot in there. Do
I'm,
what?
I'm still, I said I'm still stuck on there. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm still
We
on
can't
the
hardly
search
hear.
for. Dang it! And I don't have my camera on.
I know. I don't know what it is. We're getting Mr. Roboto, and then I lose you.
Let
Maybe
me try
somebody's
and
eating all
come
the
back.
internet speed at your house.
I'll have to come back and I'll try.
Okay. There are lots of things in that book that tell us what's supposed to be, what is prophesied to happen. We can always associate what's going on in the current world with something in that book and make it fit. You can try to make it follow along with the story. And go back and read the words and go look those words up. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. In my mind, when I was younger, I thought of a physical sword coming out of his mouth. Your tongue is a sword. How do you get the word out in this day and time to a great portion of the nation to get Christianity to spread among feral Christians? Jesus didn't pick people on the front church pew for his disciples. He picked feral followers, murderers, drunks, thieves, prostitutes. These are the people that followed Jesus because he knew they had been through crap in their life and had experienced crap and had the wisdom of those lessons that they had. Oh, now we got 3 Shannons, y'all.
Yep, of course. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to kick the other you out. Are you still there?
I am.
Okay. Maybe I kicked the other Shannon out. Where was I at? I lost where I was at.
I'm sorry.
The sword out of his mouth. I've for a long time growing up always took that as a literal, and that's one of the things, and maybe that's one of the things that has messed me up over the years thinking about religion, thinking about the literal meaning of it, but not taking into account that maybe it wasn't supposed to be that literal. I was taking it too literally, that there are different observations of what that would mean 2,000 years ago versus now. But a sharp sword out of his mouth. Christianity, there has been a rise by 67% in people in Christianity, and Bibles being sold, and people talking about God, and people talking about Jesus on the internet, on TikTok, on Facebook, on all of them. It is the most phenomenal surge in Christianity that I would have ever imagined to be seen. There are people who you would have never thought you would have seen standing in the speedway praying with somebody at 7:15 in the morning when I'm trying to get my Mountain Dew. But she looked like she was having a bad day. So me and her and Jesus, we'd be talking in the morning if we need to. 3 years ago, I was an atheist. Everybody, I didn't believe in God. I was screwed up enough to believe these idiots above me might have had something right with that evolution crap. because I couldn't understand how the world was the way it was with everything I'd been through. But I'm telling you right now, I couldn't have been more wrong. I had all of it wrong, everything wrong. And I don't want us to get something wrong by taking these words in this book. And I don't mean don't take what he said literally. We need to expand our concept of the vision in the word. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. The biggest sword you could have right now would be for Christianity to take an oversweeping census on all of these social media platforms. And it's happening. Fewer and fewer people are ashamed to speak out about their beliefs or who they are, that they're spiritual. You got people covered in tattoos, their face, their neck, their head, felons. Something's changing, and I hope that all of you are feeling it as much as the rest of us are.
Well, and think about this too. The word is frequency. Jesus Christ is the word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. The word is God. It's a frequency. If you are in Jesus Christ, in the Holy Spirit, you are in the highest, most loving, most righteous frequency, and you are protected from that lower, awful, evil frequency, the inversion of the word.
Jenna,
That
I'm
was,
reading
that was my
Clayton's
piece.
comment. Huh?
Oh, I said that was all I had to say.
I was trying to read Clayton's comment. I'm sorry, I was reading another verse when Shannon was talking over here, and my brain scrolled off in a whole nother direction, and I was reading Clayton all at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Alpha and Omega who brought forth everything with breath and word shall destroy the earth, everything with breath and word. I was on TikTok the other day, and there was a lady on there that she had one of those Tibetan meditation bells, and she rung it. And I sat there and closed my eyes when she rung that bell. You could feel it, you could see it, you could almost taste it. That pure frequency. It was wild because it was, I don't know, it was beautiful, but she could ring it in different ways, and you would feel it in different parts of your body.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, there's definitely something beautiful and peaceful about some of these frequencies, and that the Tibetans and a lot of these people have used, the ancients throughout history. But, it's just got to realize that it should be prayer and not, meditation necessarily, or meditation on Jesus Christ. And, this is a good time to kind of interject this. There is, I think, a bit of a misconception of what meditation means, because in the Eastern religions, and what most people consider what meditation is the Eastern religious concept of it, which is to clear your mind, empty it completely, right? And so you can be, one with the universe, however it is that they make you feel that it's good to actually clear your mind, like just empty it, as if nothing, like just to get rid of all thoughts, everything. But when you do that, you're opening yourself up to other things, and that is kind of the point for them and their particular religious practice, especially when in practice alongside with yoga. So, but really, in biblical terms, and what really meditation is, it is focusing on specific thought, which should be Jesus Christ, the Most High, things of the heavenly kingdom. That is what true meditation is. It's a focus on that thought, on that uh, uh, energy. That's what it was meant to be when written
Positive
into the
vibes.
Bible. Exactly.
Positive
Not
vibes.
clearing your mind of everything to open yourself up to something, but to focus in your thoughts and intents on Jesus Christ and the Most High. That is what that's what it means biblically. I just kind of wanted to point that out because it gets a bit confusing. There's a lot of churches out there that have adopted yoga and meditation and stuff, but the whole Eastern religious side of it. And I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, whoa, that's not the kind of meditation we're talking about in scripture. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to throw that out there because a lot of people think it's just super harmless. Like, I'm just going to get healthy and relax and I'm going to go meditate and do yoga. And it's like, whoa, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're playing with. And that kind of meditation is not exactly the scriptural kind. So
Well,
just throwing that out there.
does anybody else find themselves yawning when they pray? I've noticed this lately, and maybe it's psychological. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I
I
noticed a
cry a
lot.
lot when I pray.
Well, I start out yawning and I end up crying, but I don't know. See, I said yawn. Now I'm about to yawn.
Don't
It's
do it,
been like
girl.
this.
No,
It's
no.
been, yeah, it's contagious. Do you know? And I'm sure Shannon knows because we've had this conversation. If
That's
you're
because I'm yawning.
if you're with somebody and you yawn and they don't yawn, there's a mental health issue there. They have no empathy, which makes them a psychopath. No, it's not psychopath. It's what was it? The other one, sociopath.
Sociopath.
Yeah, sociopath. They have sociopathic tendencies. If they're around people all the time and they don't yawn, they say, the medical folks, they say that if they don't yawn, they have no empathy for others because yawning is an empathetic response to shadow somebody else. Hmm.
It didn't. Were you trying to link NPCs with that? Like, you
Well,
really
that
want to
that's
know who
that's a
around you
good
is real?
association there because I don't think NPCs come with empathy in their standard programming. It's just not part of their operating system. Evidently, it's not something they could program into the statues that they bring to life with electricity.
Well, sociopaths could have just, meditated and did too much yoga.
True that. True that. Oh, these attitude adjusters I got are not helping my yawning at all.
Don't,
They're making
oh
me
man.
they're making me sleepy. I'm out of broccoli. I gotta wait. I'm out of broccoli, man.
Oh, bueno.
Oh yeah, Clayton said the word portal and that squirreled me. Did they cut CERN back on today?
No, it's not supposed to come back on until like
That's what I thought.
2030.
That's what I thought.
And then it's supposed to be on indefinitely, which, again, just take that in. Really let that sink in. They want to turn it back on in 2030 indefinitely. And it's
Says,
supposed to be like a million times more powerful. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's great. Fantastic.
and I want to remind everybody to pray for those folks over in Nepal with that flood. There are a lot of people over there that have lost their lives. Doesn't matter what their religion is, their color is, anything. They are still humans that have souls and they need prayers. I don't care what your political is. This is a human thing. There's a lot of people over there that are suffering, have lost lives, have lost their homes. That was like, and it's all caught on camera coming down from the Tibetan mountains. Death toll is surging right now. 400, I think it is 65 Americans, and there's still 1,000 people missing. Like, this is a major catastrophe over there. And like we talk about these maps that we don't even realize how close or how far these people are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether it's your neighbor next door, your neighbor on the next continent, or your neighbor on the next planet. Pray for everybody, but especially remember these people in your prayers because they
Yeah,
need love too,
and don't even forget about 6 degrees of separation. You'd
right?
be surprised. Your friend could actually have family out there.
Um,
There's
I
somebody
don't know if
you
y'all
don't
know or
even
not.
know out there.
I've gone back to work for a Chinese company. The couple that owns this company have family there, and these are two of the nicest, sweetest Christians you will ever meet in your life. Like, they were always good to me. When I came back, they welcomed me with open arms, and my boss lady told me I'd just been on an 8-year vacation, and she appreciated me coming back to work so she could take one now. But that to me makes me feel good because she understands that her company is in good hands. And
Yeah.
but they got family there. And they may not be directly related, but they're indirectly related. And I could see the worry on their face this morning. And when people that I care about are worried, it worries me.
I mean, we always gotta be in prayer and in the ready because you just never know when it's gonna be you. We've seen time and time again, Helene. We know people who were there who lost their homes, people in fires, people in hurricanes, people in earthquakes. All these things are happening pretty intensely all over the world. And, you just never know when it's going to be your moment that you're in fight or flight, or you may not be here tomorrow. So just keep keep in your prayers all these people, and be in the ready for when this could possibly be you, because you just never know.
There's a lot of crap going on out there. I'm telling you, there's bad stuff going on. And maybe that's why I'm in the book of Revelation. I don't know. But that's where my brain has been. And it's one of those things, you know how it is when you get that itch, you got to scratch it. And I've been scratching the same itch for about a week, and I'm still, and something keeps telling me, slow down, take your time. Because normally when I find a rabbit hole, I just tear through it. I just mass consume it until I feel, it's like I'm checking 100 different sources, and my brain is telling me you have the ultimate source right in front of you, the book. Just slow down and read it. Read a verse, stop and think. Replay the movie you always conceived this to be, and let's rethink about new characters and new vehicles. Because if you saw the future of what was to come, but the only words you had to use were the ones they had 2,000 years ago, if you could, like mitigate that with a bridge, the movie
Here,
might change in your head a little bit.
here's a really good example. Think about Elizabethan plays. Think about Shakespeare. Think about how many people absolutely have no clue what in the world these Shakespearean plays are talking about when they're reading them, because they're in a completely different time period. And I believe most people back then didn't even talk quite that intensely, which I do know a little bit about. But regardless, it's like the people who have made films and adaptations of books and plays and stories from these Elizabethan Shakespearean plays and put it into modern times. So then you, the observer, can actually understand what the heck the storyline even is about without the language getting in the way. You know what I mean? It's a way of immersing yourself in, like, trying to understand that language and etymology, but in a visual way that would make sense to you in this time, that brings things to life, what really was there and being shown, because we're here, we're in that time. So just make a little, adaptation, an updated version of film in your brain of the Bible.
Yeah, just edit the movie. Because I'm telling you, when I think back and I pull my DVR from a kid of what my concept of Noah and the Ark and the animals was, it was that cute little thing that I saw on the Blue Book. Anybody else remember the Blue Book that they give us in church as a kid? It was like the kids' version of the Bible, and it had these cute little cartoon characters on it.
I mean,
That,
I had one of those, and I also had like stacks of
but
little
I'm telling you, that damn
storybooks.
picture on the front, what looked like the little
Yeah,
tugboat from a cartoon, is
yeah.
what my conception as a child that Noah and his ark was like.
I mean,
Nah,
that's what
this
they
sap
had.
sucker was bigger than a carnival ship.
I mean, that's what they have painted too, in all kinds of Sunday school rooms and stuff.
Well, and
It,
this is one of the reasons when we get in, and this is a whole nother subject, and I don't want to squirrel off on it, but it's side related. We talk about how we figured out that when they started this Operation Looking Glass and Gateway programs, they started the Looking Glass using adult soldiers. When said soldiers went and come back, they were dying within 3 days. And when they come back, they looked like they had been aged 30 years and their mind was broken. These are documents that I went and got from the FOIA of things that were done.
Mhm.
So the younger the soldier was, they started, because they get retired soldiers, don't, kids are grown, don't have a lot to lose if this goes wrong in the beginning. Like the families are going to create the least fuss if you give them $1 million if their people don't come back or you tell them they were killed somewhere else. They were on a secret mission. But they started sending younger soldiers. Well, when the younger soldiers come back, they didn't appear to have been aged as much. Their mind didn't seem to be quite as broken, but they were still messed up and they had a very short life after that. They sent a kid. Kid come back fine. The difference in an adult and a child is a child does not have a concrete idea of what the world and the reality around them is. They still have to learn that. So their mind is malleable. This would be the reason for the GATE program, to look for malleable, intelligent children you can use as channels.
And
Just
I
saying.
tell you, it is look, you know what's fascinating, and I don't know about you, but to me, this is an observation I have made. A lot of us who have gone through these programs and have found each other, we all seem to have some things in common where we haven't quite completely lost that part of us from childhood. Like, as we've become adults, but there's still this part of us that has kept that somewhere, where you just haven't completely erased it or thrown it away. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I've noticed. Like, there is
Well,
a connection of where you still have that piece in there. Maybe because
oh
you
yeah.
you actually really experienced and know in your soul, in your very being, that this is real,
Like I'm telling
despite
you, I
everyone
don't
else around you.
I don't
It's
I don't
fantasy.
care how cotton picking crazy anybody calls me. Get my straight jacket and put that bad boy in purple with sparkles and rhinestones.
Yeah.
Make sure you monogram it.
People
That
sometimes misinterpret us as, maybe a little immature at times, only because we still keep our childlikeness, and and are haven't
Well, you're supposed to have the
completely
curiosity of a
give it away.
child to seek wisdom. And that's the theory. A child's mind is open. It's not set in stone. It's still adaptable. And that's why you're supposed to have the curiosity of a child when you seek knowledge. Because if you think you already know something and you go and read a book and that book is adverse to what you think you know and you're set that you know it, you're going to disregard that book. You're never going to look at it. You're never going to give it as an option or anything. It's a no because I already know. I already know that, this is how you do it. I don't need the instruction manual. But you know what? If you go over there and you read the instruction manual, it may say you may be able to do it in half the time and do a better job. That book that's written for us, the Bible, that is your instruction manual. But you got to be able to take your time and read it because it's heavy and it's thick and there's a lot in it. So pick the parts that seem in your mind to be set from childhood and maybe go back and unknow and re-know a few things. Because my mind's been blown. When I go back and read some of the stories in the Bible, I'm like, that is not how I remember that story being told to me as a child. Like, he wanted it, this dude wanted that dude's wife. So he goes off to war with the dude and just kills him in war and comes back and takes his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
See,
some Jerry Springer kind of stuff going on.
yeah. Well, see, this is why I kept getting in trouble, with with the church. I too was actually in Catholic school for a good minute. And I was always asking questions because I was reading the Bible myself. And they're like, you're not allowed to do that because blah, 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 blah. Because they don't want you to read about those things and ask questions and have to talk to you about it, but I definitely was that guy and I got in trouble. And these are things too. I'd ask my mom, I'd ask my grandma. No one knew. They didn't know. I was like, you don't read this thing? Well, the priest does this thing. He talks, does this
Yeah, we don't need to
mass
read
and
the Bible because we got a priest or a rabbi
and,
or a.
and we got these pamphlets that we pray, several times a day, which is kind of a little reminiscent of how, the Muslims do their, what
Could
is
you
it,
be
three
any
to
more
four
mind
times a
controlled than that?
right. It's
Like, come on, people, just get in line with the collar around your neck, with the chain in your hand, to hand it to the slave master. Go in some building like that, and they're telling you you don't need to read the instruction manual. I'll tell you what's in it. You daggone right, I'm gonna tell you what's in it because I'm gonna take half of what's yours and make it mine, and I'm gonna live like a fat cat the rest of my life on private jets. That's what
well,
these super churches are.
right. Well, and not only that, but here's again a really big thing with and again, this is about the Catholic Church specifically. If you were to read the Bible yourself and see in many different areas where it straight up tells you not to worship and pray to other gods, and that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, then you can't dupe these people into praying to the Virgin Mary all the time and all these various saints like they're gods. You wouldn't be able to get them to do all this ritual magic mass stuff all the time if they knew and read in the Bible that you are not allowed to do those things. And even when the priest tells you these things in mass, they make sure you're practically asleep before you even hear any message. And they distort everything so intensely.
Oh,
They're trying
Shannon.
to keep you from the truth. Yeah.
Revelation 16:17 through 21. As you're sitting here talking, I'm still over here. My right eye is reading screen number 2, and I'm reading the book of Revelations as you're talking. I'm sorry, y'all. Each eye does its own brain function. My right eye is reading Revelation. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." and there were voices and thunder and lightning, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Every island fled away, and the mountains were not found, and fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone the weight of a talent. I think we looked at a map the other night that showed that if the dams weren't there, that America would be divided into three parts. Correct?
Yep, and let's not forget the New Madrid earthquake that is has very much so been predicted, and I know that there will be a splitting in two in that area regardless. You know what I'm saying? But and here's what's interesting about that, because a lot of these dammed up spots are drying up right now. Or of course we know the water's just relocated. So my curiosity, it's like this is where I kind of go into these earthquakes and stuff. I mean, this is all part of judgment. And where it talks about how the men are will these people are going to try to flee into the mountains, but it will be for no avail, and God's going to take them down anyways, and just with all their underground bunkers and all their stashed water and their data center and
Well,
all
see,
that
all these
stuff.
underground bunkers, we know these one percenters are building. Reminds you of a time when Göbekli Tepe and all them places come about, or what's actually up. Yeah, those automated things are getting on my nerves, y'all. I'm sorry. I know they probably getting on your nerves because they getting on my nerves looking at them popping up. We gonna have to stop that. That is unnecessary, disturbing the
Thank,
chat.
thank God I can't see anything in chat right
They weren't supposed to pop up like that. But all these it was supposed to be like once every 15 minutes, one of them popped up. Not all of them. Evidently, I did not set something correctly in the settings. We're learning, y'all. We're
We're
learning.
learning.
We're learning. We're going to be an independent broadcasting, like, powerhouse before this is over with. But we got to get a bigger computer. Anyway.
I just need a computer, not a phone. That'd be cool.
Have you
Uh,
seen, there's something going on over in England with Will I Am?
no, I haven't seen anything like that.
Now, like I said, I've been working a lot. My life is scheduled on a spreadsheet hour by hour for the next couple of weeks. Well, probably the next month because we fixing to go into fall bike week. And my daughter looked at me and said, "Mom, I took extra shifts for bike weeks." I said, "Well, I hope you got somebody to watch your kids because I'm going to bike week." I don't know what you're talking about. I got stuff to do. But it, I've seen some stuff and I don't know what truth there is to it. But y'all need to get in Discord and keep me filled in on current events because I'm missing them being at work all day. I'm literally taking my lunch hour at work to set the podcast stuff up so that when I get home I can run in, change clothes, and sit down and start talking to y'all. That's the way life has been for the past couple of weeks. Tell you, I'm running in a hurricane around here.
You keep saying all these like words that I'm like singing in my head, trying so hard not to sing out
You're over there
loud.
stimming, aren't you?
I am.
Stimming like a pimp over there trying not to sing. Do you know,
Ah.
y'all know that's actually a stem, right? What they call a stem. I didn't know that till the other day, and I'm like, Lord, I've been stimming my whole life. I'm
Yeah,
evidently
whatever. I just
autistic. Didn't know it. Well,
I
maybe
just
I did
call
know it.
myself a walking jukebox. I'd much prefer that. It's fine.
2028, Wayne. It's about time you drug your butt into the chat. Roxy and Shannon forever. 2028. Wayne the Pain's here. Hey, sweetheart. He hadn't seen
What's
you in
up?
chat. Sometimes he'll be hanging around. He won't say nothing.
We have to have our cameras off. I'm sorry. I already have issues with Roboto Tech
Shannon's
But
over there joining us on a cell phone.
well, hey, this is how much I am dedicated to all of you and to Roxy and to Jesus, because I will do this on my phone. Okay.
Girl,
I
I
will
would do
deal
this
with
in
the
a clown suit
roboto.
standing on the corner
Right?
because he done told
Let's
me I'm
go.
supposed to. Like,
Don't tempt me with costumes.
we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you one of them dead pedos. Don't reoffend and put you on the corner in California. You might get, you might get run over though. We should be careful with that.
Well,
They
if
are
I have
interpreted that it's
sparkles
Elijah
on,
Moses.
they
You're
can't
not.
be that bad. Gotta draw attention. Yeah.
Clayton says, "Sing, sing us something." The
Oh.
more you,
Oh. The more you know.
that's reading
That's
Rainbow
not
with Roxy
really
and Shannon.
that cool, but you know.
That's our, that's our segment there, Shannon, for our reading Rainbow. Read your Bibles.
Actually, here's something better. Every day I praise Jesus Christ, my King. And I hope that everybody feels the same way. All right, there you go. I'm a little sick, but there you go. A little praise for the day.
Well, there is a song, and I don't know if I've sent it to you or not yet, Shannon. But yeah, I played it for you the other day. I bet you I've listened to this song, y'all, probably 8, 10 times a day, every day. And I don't know when I come across it, the song struck me, and that is the first song I listen to in the morning on my commute to work, so that I don't commit any crimes against society while I drive through a construction zone on my way to work in the worst traffic ever. I do believe, but no, I don't. I don't live in a major city, and I'm complaining about it because I'm used to 2 lane roads and back roads and dirt roads and potholes. They're turning all my
Yeah.
roads into 6 lane highways with exits and like too many damn people.
I live in California where there's nothing but freeways and traffic.
I'm gonna
That's
play a
central
second of this song.
casting.
I'm gonna play a second of this song, and the name of it is "What If That's You," and the name of it is "May the Lord Studio." And I hope it don't violate us. I'm not gonna play but a second, but I love this song, y'all, because it talks about what if it's you? What if God's talking to you and you're just not moving? You're asking Him to tell you to move, and you're not listening. If there's a weight at the bottom of the bottom of the pool, and you've got your hand on a rope trying to get it, it's a beautiful gold nugget, and you're trying to get it drug up the side of that pool, and all of a sudden the pool starts filling up, but your dumb self don't let go of the gold nugget so that you can see that all the grass outside is filled with gold nuggets and you drown because you can't let that one go. You can't receive something if your hands are full. You can't receive good things if your heart is full of bad things. It's just the way it works. You got to open up, wash your hands, open them up, and see what He needs to lay in your hands. But listen to this song.
What if David saw the giant and decided not to fight? What if Peter saw the water but stayed safely in the boat that night? What if Esther kept her silence just to keep her crown secure? But what if you've been calling it being careful when God called you through that door? What if Moses told the burning bush, go find somebody else?
All right, I'm going to stop it there because it'll violate us if we play too much of it. But it's one of those songs you need to listen to a couple of times. And I still listen to it to today. I've been on it for several days over and over and over again, and I still get goosebumps every time I listen to it. Empty your pockets and empty your hands of any dead weight that you're carrying, whether it be hate. Please don't be hating anybody. Pray for them. Maybe the door that God needs to get into that person's soul is by you praying that God can get into that person's soul. If you've got somebody that is you just can see that there's something walking that meat suit and it ain't them, pray for them. If somebody's done you wrong, pray for them. Pray that they don't never do that to another human being. Pray that they learn to be better, to come closer to God. You can't believe in God. You got to know God. Believing leaves room for question. There is no question in my mind, and I hope there's not in yours. If there is, there's a relationship in there you need to get to with Him. You don't need anybody in the middle of you to get there. But I want to remind everybody, and I don't know why this has been so hard put to me the past few days. If you see somebody that's having a bad day, ask them if you can pray with them. Please don't be ashamed to ask somebody if you can pray with them. There are people out there in this world that need prayer, that don't even know they need prayer, that won't even accept the fact that there's something wrong enough that they need prayer to get their life right. It may be addiction, it may be loneliness, it may just be suffering and struggle. But sometimes just smiling at a stranger or holding a door can make the whole difference in somebody's day who's thinking about not being here anymore because they can't take it. Life be lifing right now. There's many people in this world that are struggling. There are a lot of parents who are working full-time jobs, two jobs in the household with kids, and they're struggling to keep the bills paid and groceries in their refrigerator. I know two good people who I spoke with the other day work a good job. They pay their bills on time. And the mom is going without lunch at work and eating small portions at night to make sure there's enough groceries in the house for the kids so the kids don't have to say they're hungry. That's not the world we're supposed to be living in. That is not the world that Jesus wanted us to be in. We gotta we gotta pray. We all gotta pray together. The power of prayer is more than you will ever know, and when we all do it together, the voice just gets louder. Is there anything you'd like
Well,
to say before we leave tonight, Shannon?
I do think that Jesus Christ is preparing us and our families to, to be able to transition and start to learn how to trade and rely on community
Barter.
and barter and try to grow gardens and just different things and living life differently from the system that we grew up in. And it's hard, um, but in a way it is a blessing, and we talk about lessons and blessings all the time, but it's hard sometimes to see that. And I just really went through some tough times myself in the last couple years, where my cupboards and refrigerator had pretty much been like that consistently. And my husband just ate once a day, still do, just to make sure everything's good. But I literally worked my butt off to be able to just fill up the kitchen for once. And it humbled me. It made me cry, like I felt so blessed for that
And
moment to
and I tell
have
you
a
how,
full
yeah,
kitchen.
I tell you how blessed I was here lately. Like I keep saying to myself, here a few months ago, I quit an occupation that was high benefit, high stress. I decided I was going a different way in life. I was going to go lower money, lower stress. And so that financial, there was a gap there with no finances, and now they're less than they used to be. but I feel better about what I'm doing, and that's what's important to me. I'm okay with the struggle, but the struggle bus yesterday, I knew I had a car insurance bill due, and paycheck don't come till next week, and I don't like borrowing anything from anybody. But rather than being upset and stressed about it, I prayed about it on the way home, and I said, you know what? He ain't let me go without yet. He don't never let me go without. He gives me exactly what I need when I need it. When I was in that car yesterday, I had $24 to my name, and my gas light was on, and I still had 2 days to go to work in a pickup truck that does not get good gas mileage. It does for a truck, but not in general. Um, I took the last $26 I had. I got gas, and I got a pack of cigarettes. I said, you know what? He'll never let me go without. I rolled up in my yard, had a conversation. My car insurance was handled, and there was $100 in my account this morning.
Oh,
He never lets me go without. He won't let you go without if you pray about it. Be
that's,
sincere.
yeah, and
It,
it's okay if you're living very, meagerly, or, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
gonna be okay. Don't stress it. Just pray about it. I'm telling you, 6 months, a year ago, if I'd have been in the situation I was yesterday, I would have not been anybody wanted to be around, because I'm just ill. When I can't, when I don't feel like I'm in control of making sure everything's taken care of ahead of time, 3 days, 2 hours, and 12 minutes ahead of time, it makes me angry and just stressed out. And I'm just, oh, I haven't been that way. Even with all the struggle I've been through in the past few months of barely keeping our head above water. And my daughter is my teammate. She's my ride or die. Her and my son are my teammates here the way we work. But it's been all good. I'm not stressed. Like on my drive home, I'm like, it'll come somehow. If it won't, I'll figure something out. It'll be all right. It's it's all right. Just give it to God. Give it to Him. Open your hands and see what He will deliver to you. But do not be afraid. Do not fear, because that fear is what will stop you. Make sure you go out and tell people about Jesus.
Hey, and plus, fear just feeds the beast.
Yep, we don't
Try and
fear here.
starve that guy.
No fear. We say it all. We say it out loud. We run our mouths. If you're new, thank you for coming. All of our regulars and even the newbies, we love you. We love you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Tuesday night we'll be on the Grassroots Warrior Network again live. You guys might want to, some of our regulars, if you want to go over there and check it out. There's like 1,200 people over there that were watching. So, and I couldn't see the chat over here without ignoring you guys. So, Tuesday night we're going to try to do a little bit of chat in there. But it's on Rumble. It's the Grassroots Warrior Network. I'm going to see if I can try to get all this chat integrated. I don't know. I'm going to have to take some schooling on that. Unless somebody's got some techie fingers they want to help me with. Um, Other than that, we will probably see you Tuesday night because, like I said, my life all weekend is scheduled on a spreadsheet. I got Friday night at 7:30 till Saturday at 3 o'clock is my free time for the weekend, and I'm hoping it ain't free much longer. I'm hoping plans come through. We'll see. Have a blessed night, everybody. Thank you all for coming. We love you.
Good night.